Hello, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I thought it would be a cool idea to make a tier list of the official Geometry Dash levels so far. I know there are many types of these videos online, but I want to put my own spin on it. I will be ranking these levels based on design, how well it introduces new mechanics, if there is any, and of course, the music. It will be based more on the first two though. The ranks will go from S to F, excluding E, just because I felt like there were too many ranks. S rank will obviously be the best rank, and F will be the worst. This is based on my opinion, so if your opinions aren't based like mine, don't get mad. Let's hop right into this ranking. Stereo Madness is a beginner level, so it's not that hard by far. It introduces the basic in a simple and easy way to understand. Spikes are bad, don't hit them. Format that all Geometry Dash levels use, as well as knowing when to stop jumping. It introduces the spaceship in an open and easy way to get a grip of. The spaceship is also one of the mechanics I actually like, other than some of the other ones we'll get into. The second cube part has some tougher timings, but is still not that hard. Apart from a couple triple spikes, the final ship part is a little bit tighter, but nothing too hard for the first level. Very simple, and the music slaps. I'm placing this in A tier. You can't deny that this is a classic level. It's time for me to get back on track with this video. Bad joke, I'm sorry. Back on Track introduces the jump pads, which propel you in the air if you touch them. It mixes them in with some jumping gameplay. It shows you how the jump pads can work against you. The ship is simple. I think it's easier than Stereo Madness. And the rest of the level has jumps and jump pads mixed together. I also like the music more than Stereo Madness. This level goes in the B tier. As for why, it's just a little bit too simple and easy for me. I do like the jump pads though. Poltergeist. I don't know how to pronounce it exactly, but Polargeist? I'm gonna go with that. Shows off the orbs, or as it's called, the jump ring? Yeah, I think I'll stick to orbs. Like most new mechanics, the orbs are introduced in an easy to understand way, mixing in the jumps with some tricky orb placements. The ship is a bunch of randomly placed blocks that you can easily dodge by hugging the top or bottom. The rest of the level is pretty good. The staircase syncs with the music. Some of the orb timings are a bit goofy and it's not always obvious where to jump to hit the orbs correctly. Orb timings are fine for demons, but not for normal difficulty levels. This level has one of my favorite songs in the game. I'll give it a B tier. Same idea as Back on Track, too simple, including the ship part, but the music is hitting hard. Dread has some good level design at the start. For a level from version 1 of the game, the start of the level feels so smooth. The thing that is introduced is the upside down portal. Its intro is very quick, but you get a hold of what the portal does quickly. I have an appreciation for upside down after having played this game for a long time. The only problem I have with this level is some of the jumps aren't as obvious, mainly the ones with the pillars next to each other. The ship part starts out pretty easy, but becomes harder by adding spikes on the ground and the roof, and add spikes to the squares. I give this level an A tier, because I like the upside down portal, only with the cube, and the music is really good. Base after base is kind of boring. It doesn't have any new mechanics, it doesn't build up any skills. Wait, it actually does introduce something. The annoying part where the background goes black. Although I've not been talking about the coins, this is probably the only time I'm going to bring them up. The two coins are do nothing coins. This level is supposed to be hard rated, and it doesn't even have that much of a difficulty curve. The only thing that carries this level out of the F is the music, D tier. Honestly, I was going to make an extra tier below F for this one, but I refrained from doing that. This level has nothing going for it. I said I wouldn't talk about the coins anymore, but it has the worst coins in the game. The gameplay is repetitive and not fun. I see a return that no one asked for, the black section, and somehow it's worse than base after base. I guess it introduces the orbs upside down, which is okay. The music isn't that good. F. Jumper is super bouncy in both the levels and the music, and I like that. The gravity portals in this level are really smooth, and it shows that you're going to be switching gravity constantly in later levels. The upside down ship makes its introduction here, and it is taught in a simple manner. It'll get harder in future levels. It is really smooth and feels good to play. There is one bad thing though. Like I said, for dry out, the pillars are really close together, making it hard to see where to jump. Other than that, honestly, this level deserves an S tier. First S tier. Time Machine is interesting because it's the first level that starts the tradition of having many triple spikes in your level. It only ran for 2 levels. The gravity switches are done really nicely, but there are so many triple spikes that it doesn't become hard, it just becomes annoying. This level introduces the mirror portal, which no one likes, pretty sure. It's done in a way that gives you time to react, so it's not unbearable. The level design has gotten more complex, and there's some kind of monster. I like the way it looks. I'll give this one a D. An okay level, but it introduces a not very good mechanic. I think the music speaks for itself for most of these levels from now on. Cycle starts out pretty bad because of the amount of triple spikes. There's a lot of trickery and fake orb spam. After the cube part, the level gets better. It introduces the ball, which switches gravity slowly. It introduces it well with a lot of open space in its first section. The ship part is good. I really like the gravity changes that are close together. It's a little peak of difficulty. And it's pretty good because it syncs with the music. The final ball part is a big leap in difficulty from the first ball part because of how tight the section is. But it's satisfying once you beat it and master it. The music is okay too. I'm giving Cycles a B because it's better than Time Machine. Xstep isn't very memorable for me. I almost forgot most of the level. The cube, the ball, and the ship are good. This level introduces the blue pad and the blue orb, which instantly change gravity. I do like the ball part, which has more trickery and is tougher. The ship has some blue pads against it, so cool. There's not much more than that. I put Xstep in C. It's not very memorable, but has good music. Clutterfunk is one of my favorite levels. This level introduces the Mini, which changes the physics of all the different mechanics / game modes. And you could say that there's a mirror portal in the level, but it only happens at the start and it's a really smooth transition. It uses the Mini really well, and the level is just fun to play through. I find myself going back to this level the most. The Mini ball part is my favorite use of the ball game mode. The first ship is a little tight, but I like it, and the mini ship is really well made. I like the small corridor for the mini, or tight spaces. Don't get me started with the end of the level. Everything is just perfect. The changes from mini to regular sync up with the music, as well as the orbs. It's my favorite part to play through. If it hasn't already made it obvious enough, this is my favorite level in Geometry Dash for the official levels. I'm putting this in S. I enjoy this level every time. Theory of Everything is what I think is the first introduction to real trickery. There are many fake pathways in this level that can trip you up if you're not paying attention, as well as some orb fakes, which are done in patterns to get you confused. This level introduces the UFO, which is many Geometry Dash players' favorite to switch gravity many times on. It's done really well in this level. The different pathways go really well with the amount of times you have to jump with the UFO. I also cannot forget that the pink orb was introduced. It's the yellow orb, but if it had a smaller jump. Not very interesting. The level's pretty fun, that's why I'm putting it in B. Fun fact, this is actually my first Insane I beat. Electroman Adventures is the level that introduces breakable blocks. The problem is that it's only used in a small part at the start of the level, and isn't introduced very well. It'll take you a second to realize what it even does. This level has the best design I've seen so far. The ship parts are really fun, and the saws are used well. The other complaint I have is there are so many mirror portals, and sometimes it's really hard to see what's happening next, basically making the rest of the level blind for you. This level deserves a B. If it had less mirror portals, it would have ranked higher. The music carries it. Clubstep is the first official demon, and for good reason. The leap in difficulty makes this level seem like a mountain compared to the anthills that were the levels before. This level has far harder trickery. The path of the level isn't always obvious. Even though the level is really hard, I still think it's really fun, and it feels satisfying to beat this level, to gain full mastery over it. This will also probably be the first level that you have to practice over and over again in practice mode. There are many invisible spikes and pathways that if you haven't practiced before wouldn't be obvious. The thing that steps this up in difficulty for me is the amount of gravity switches in the ship parts, especially when it constantly does it. This is a good first demon level, and I had spent hours to beat it, and it felt so good to beat it. This song is one of my favorites too. I'm giving this an S. The difficulty leap may seem absurd, but it's a really good level, and has some good music. If I had done this a month or two ago, I would have said that this was a demon and ranked it much lower on the tier list. But I have seen this level in a different light. Speed changes are introduced in this level, and honestly, I'm surprised this wasn't introduced sooner. It feels natural now. Most of the level is good, other than it becomes way harder than it needs to be. First, the UFO changed gravity so much, and it takes some practice. Your clicks have to be very precise. That is said same for the mini UFO part right after. Don't get me started with the ship parts, closer to the end. The mini 3x speed ship ship is very tight and also switches gravity. Right after the ball part that comes in between the two, it hits you with an even tighter 3 times speed. Mini ship, a fast cube part that you have to react quickly, and it ends with a regular 3 times speed ship. The rest of the level is good though. C, if this was a demon level, I would have rated this better. Hexagon Force introduces 2 things this time, slopes and the duel. The first cube, ship, and ball part are good. The ball part shows off the slope by making you not change gravity and instead letting the slope throw you. The second cube part has some slopes that doesn't look like you need to jump, but you need to jump. This has messed me up a couple of times. The duel is introduced, which makes a copy of you that has gravity switch, and you have to time right. The dual cube has this end part that can mess you up if you don't know when to press. Did I mention that I don't like duels at all? Everything is going good until the final ship part, which is a mini slow speed dual ship. I don't know if it's obvious, but this is really hard to control. Followed up by a regular slow ship, this level deserves a B. I don't really like the duel, but with this level, it's not bad. Plus, the music is straight up fire. This level is the first of its kind to get 3D block design, which looks good, but I honestly prefer 2D. This level also has a big visual overhaul. You can see a lot of upgrades made to the look of the game. This level introduces the wave, which you go diagonal up and down, depending on if you press or not. The level flows really well, and the second wave part has a duel that I actually like. The rest of the level is done really well, and there's nothing more I can really say about it, except for it's got voice lines. You win. A. This level is good, and the music slaps. This is the second demon, and for good reason. This level has more invisible blocks, kind of like that one part in Clubstep. The invisible objects make it harder to see what's in front of you, as well as you have to control the ship very well in this demon level because of the constant gravity changes. The UFO part takes a lot of precise tap. There's a lot of trickery in this level too. The invisible objects are in a couple other sections. This demon has a wave which was previously introduced in the last level. This level introduces the mini wave, which is a smaller, faster version of the wave. B, it's a pretty good demon level, but not as fun as Clubstep. Geometrical Dominator is the first level to use the move triggers, which makes the objects move. This level introduces the robot, which is like the cube, except the longer you press down, the higher you jump. Most of the level is pretty good, except for when it makes you jump blind because the blocks haven't moved yet. Don't make me talk about the rainbow blocks. They just don't look good. That's the gist of it. Now, this wouldn't be a tier list of Geometry Dash if I didn't talk about the memory section in Geometrical Dominator. The memory section isn't too bad. The only problem I have with it is that I wish the blocks appeared quicker and stayed for longer. The only other pet peeve I have about this level is on the UFO part where they introduce the triggers. The level never builds up around them, and it's pretty obvious what to do, but that doesn't change the fact that it was kind of poorly put in. This level deserves a B. The music is really good. The song will forever give me nightmares because of how long I spent beating this level. This level is, in my opinion, the hardest demon out of the official demons. I really like the entire look of this level. The level introduces the teleportation portals, which instantly teleport you to where the other portal is. This is done in a way that's really smooth to the gameplay, and sometimes you don't even notice it, and I like it. The thing that I don't like that's introduced is the upside down wave. It's introduced at the base drop, and it doesn't give you time to adapt at all. It throws you in and says, hope you survive. Also introduces one more thing, which is the green orbs, which switches your gravity slowly. I have no further input about them. The ship part right after the first wave is a little bit difficult because of the moving objects, but once you get a hang of it, it's pretty good. The ball section is cool because it tells you that the red platform are bad and the blue platforms are good. I honestly think that's really cool. Honestly think the difficulty from this level comes from the halfway ship, which is really hard because of the amount of gravity changes and the teleportation portals, not knowing if you don't practice it. But also from the 2 wave parts, which are ridiculously hard. They are super tight and really fast. Probably more because of the fast. I almost forgot the ship part near the end where there's a bunch of moving objects that's really hard to see. That's pretty hard too. This demon deserves an S rank. I like the level more than the music. And this one was super satisfying to beat. Fingerdash is the final official level that has come out for Geometry Dash. This level is stunning with its design. This is the one that I can actually say I like the 3D block design. There are many triggers in this level, but it never feels overbearing. It all blends together very nicely. The black hole orb is introduced in this level, which forces you down. This is the one level that I actually feel like uses the black hole orbs well. The red orbs and the jump pads, which launch you higher than the normal yellow ones, as well as the dash orb, which you hold and you go straight, and a pink variety that changes changes gravity. The spider is also introduced, which is like the ball but instantaneously changes gravity. All of the level is really smooth and fun to play through, as well as the color change and the shake trigger adding to the level. For people who don't know, this song is actually called Finger Bang, not Fingerdash. And that's a straight up banger. S tier, I could see no other tier to put this in. Although it's pretty easy for an insane level. Thank you for watching this video, and if you want to see another Geometry Dash video, make sure to like this video, or even where I rate the new 2.2 levels when that comes out. Send me a comment to give me video recommendations, and feel free to subscribe. I worked really hard on this video, and many of my other ones, so I would really appreciate it. Turn those notifications on so you never miss a new video. And I'll see you guys in the next video.